Hey, Geometry, this is 11.2. The choice is yours. Here, there's going to be a bunch of solids, and it's going to be a good problem just to practice finding volume of figures. The first part is just asking us to kind of figure out which ones are the easy problems and which ones are the hard problems. Without doing any calculating, identify two solids you think would have the least difficult volumes, the volume calculations, and two solids that would be the most difficult volume calculations. Be prepared to explain your answer. So which one of these are easy and which one's hard? And you have to pick two of each, but I'll kind of go through each one. I guess I'm going to circle the easier ones in green that I think, and the harder ones will be maybe red. Looking at A seems to me to be an easy one because the base of this prism is a triangle and the height is 8. To find the volume, I need the base and I need the height. I know the height and the base. I don't know what the area of the base is, but I already know that it's a triangle, and I know that the base of the triangle is 11. The height of the triangle is 5. So it'll be really easy to find the area of that bottom triangle and then just multiply it by 8. So I would say A is going to be an easier one. B, I can find the area of the base no problem because the base is just a circle with radius 5. So it's going to be 5 squared pi r squared. And I don't know what the height is, though, and I'd have to use trigonometry because I'm giving an angle and a side length, kind of like I did in the warm-up. So I would put that one as kind of a tougher one. And the reason is because this one we'd have to use trig to solve for the height. Here we have a rectangular prism. The height is 10, and the base area is going to be, it's 7 by 5, so the base area is 35. 35 times 10, that's going to be a piece of cake. In fact, I just did it. It's 350. This one, part D and part A look similar, but part D I'm actually going to give it's a tougher one. And the reason why is in part A, I know the base of the triangle is 11 and the height of the triangle is 5. Here I know the base of the triangle is 7, but I don't know what the height is. I know the hypotenuse is 8, and I could use Pythagorean theorem to find it, but it's going to take a little bit of work to do that. So that's why I think part D is going to be a little bit trickier. E is very straightforward. I know the height. I know the base area is a circle, and I know the radius. So if I know the radius, pi r squared that, multiply by the height 15, and we're good. Part F, I know the height. I know the base of the triangle, but again, just like over here, I didn't know the height. I don't know the height of the triangle. So to find the base area here, I would need to use some trigonometry to find that. So that one I'll put in the harder category. This last one, I know the height, and I don't know the area of the base. I know the circumference, and I could use the circumference to find the radius to find the area, and I'm going to put that in red because it's going to take a little bit of work. But between B, D, F, and G is going to be the one that I think is going to be the easier. D is going to be maybe the second easiest because Pythagorean theorem. B and F, you're going to have to use SOHCAHTOA, some trigonometry. So that one might be the tougher ones. So that was number one. Number two, choose 3 solids. We're going to do them all, and we're going to find the the volume of all of them. So I guess we'll do the easy ones first. Why not? We know. All right, so I'm going to zoom in pretty good on these. All right, so the volume of a prism or a cylinder is the area of the base times the height. Now the base is a triangle, and the area of that is going to be half base times height. So the volume is going to be the area of the triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. The base is 11, and the height is 5. And we need to multiply that all by the height of the prism, which is 8. Okay, so this part right here is the base, this right here is the height, and then we just got to put that on the calculator. Now, the way I'm going to do it is I know 11 times 5 is 55. Half of 8 is 4, so it's going to be 4 times 55. 110, is that 220, I think? Okay. So yeah, so what I just did is I just did the 8 divided by 2 is a 4, 11 times 5 is 55, 55 times 4 is 220. So that's how I did it mentally, but you can do it in a calculator, that's fine. Part C, we have a prism. The area of the base times the height the volume is the area of the base times the height, and the base is a rectangle. And the area of a rectangle is base times height. So the area of the base is going to be 7 times 5, and the height is 10. So 7 times 5 is 35. 35 times 10 is 350. So this one's cubic feet. This one was cubic centimeters. We'll go back to D in a little bit. Let's do E. E is going to be easy. The radius is 20. So if I want to find the volume, it's the area of the base times the height. And we know the base is a circle. And that formula is pi r squared. So it's going to be the area of the base, which is pi r squared. And the radius is 20, so I'm going to put 20 for the radius, times the height, which is 15 inches tall. So what do we got here? So 20 squared is 400. 400 times 15 is... that's 6,000. 400 times 15. Yep, so that's 6,005. And if you want to round that in the calculator, multiply by 3.14, you're going to get about 18,849.6. These are all cubic inches. So whichever answer you like is fine. They're both the same. They're both correct. So that's it for the easy ones. We just found the base right away, put it in, and found the height. Area of the base multiplied by the height, and we got our volumes. For these next few, it's not going to be quite as straightforward, but we can handle it. We have Pythagorean theorem and we have SOHCAHTOA, so we're armed with what we need. So we have kind of a oblique prism, but the volume formula is still whatever the area of the base is times the height. The base is a circle. So that's our pi r squared formula. So we're going to get pi times the radius, which is 5 squared, times the height. The height's going to be what takes us some work to find, and we did it in a warm-up. I want to find this. And if you look here, we just made a right triangle. I know this angle is 40. H is the opposite leg of that angle. And 10 is the hypotenuse. So which function uses opposite hypotenuse? That's going to be the sine function. Multiply both sides by 10. 10 times sine of 40 equals h. And I'm going to get that h is about 6.4. So the height is 6.4. So I'm going to put that 6.4 right up here. 5 squared is 25. 25 times 6.4 is about 160. Times pi. I'm going to get about 503. And we're in cubic. We don't have any units here, so it's going to be in, I don't know, units cubed, whatever the units are. So what made this one hard is just kind of like this part right here. We had to do a little bit of extra work to find the height, and that's how it's going to be for all of them. Just a little bit of extra work. I want to find the height here. So let's just go back to the beginning. The volume of the solid is the area of the base times the height, and the base is a triangle. And the formula is half base times height. The base is 7. The height we don't know, so I need to find that. And I'm going to do that with the Pythagorean theorem over here. A squared plus b squared equals the hypotenuse squared. So that's 49 plus x squared equals 64. Subtract 49 on both sides, we get 15. So x is the square root of 15, which is about 3.87. So here we can now calculate the base is 1/2. The area of the base is 1/2 base times height. So do that in green, I think. So 1/2 base times height. So 1/2, the base is 7. The height is 3.87. And times the height. the height of this thing, it's 11 meters tall. So the green is the base, and then we just got to find the area of that triangle and multiply it by the height, which is 11. And what does that come out to be? That's the letter D. I got about 149. So it's approximately 149 cubic meters. Okay. So moving on to F. And F is interesting because the answer in the back of the book is not what I got for an answer. But if you see what I'm doing wrong here, if you catch a mistake, let me know. But we need to continue to find the volume, which is the area of the base times the height, and the base of this is a right triangle. And the area formula is 1/2 base times height. So let's do it. I'm going to find, let's see, the base of the triangle is 4. We just need to find the height of the triangle, whatever that is. I'll call it H. I don't want to call it H because the height of the whole prism is 6.5. I'm going to call this X again. So we got to use our SOHCAHTOA again. I know that the opposite leg is what I'm looking for. I know that the adjacent leg is 4. So the function that uses opposite over adjacent is going to be tangent. So SOHCAHTOA. Let's do this a little small here. I'm going to do it in green again. That's not what I wanted. It's fine. So tangent 30 equals it's the ratio of the opposite and the adjacent legs. To solve this for x, just multiply both sides by 4. So I'll get 4 times tangent 30 equals x, and then plug that into your calculator. This is, I think that's 2.3 times 4, right? 30 times 4. Yeah, I'm getting about 2.3 here. It's not exactly 2.3, but x is going to be about 2.3. And so now I can find this volume. The volume is the area of the base times the height. The base is a triangle, so that's 1/2. The base of the triangle is 4. The height of the triangle is 2.3 times the height of the solid. The height of the solid is 6.5. And what I ended up getting is about 29.9. Cubic centimeters. Now, depending on how much you rounded it, you may have gotten something just over 30 because I rounded this to 2.3. It's very close to 30. Just kind of an FYI, the book's answer was 50.8. So if you caught a mistake and that's what you got, let me know. But I think the book might be wrong on this one. Anyways, the last one, we have another oblique cylinder. The volume is still the area of the base times the height, and the base is a circle, which we know the formula for the area of a circle is pi r squared. We just don't know what the radius is. So to find r, I know that the circumference is 4, and the circumference, the formula for circumference is 2 pi r, 2 pi times the radius. So the 2 pi r has to be equal to 4. So the circumference is 2 pi r. That's equal to 4. Just divide both sides by 2 pi. So we get r is equal to 4 over 2 pi. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. So it's really just going to be 2 over pi. So now we know the radius, and we can plug it into this formula. So the volume is going to be the area of the base, which is pi r squared times the height, and the height we know is 2. And let me just put the radius. The radius is 2 over pi. You can put that in a calculator and get an approximation, but I'm just going to take it from here. So this is going to be pi times, so 2 squared is 4. Pi squared is just pi squared. times 2. And let's see, this pi is going to divide one of those pi's out. So that's going to happen. And then I have 4 times 2 is 8. And I still have that 1 pi left over on the bottom. So it's going to be 8 over pi cubic meters. And if you wanted to round that, do 8 divided by 3.14, that's about, what do we got, 2.55. So either one of those is correct. This is I guess the nicer answer. It's more exact, and that's the rounded answer, which is useful. Anyway, so that's it for this one. I guess the idea here is let's just practice using the formulas and using the stuff that we've learned, the triangle, Pythagorean theorem, the right triangle trig stuff, and kind of all comes together here. So these are good practice problems to look at.